as I was watching the Anna Nicole fiasco, which we'll get into a bit, did you guys see the moment when she came out in the clown makeup? Yeah, very bizarre, very bizarre. Now, I have an 8-page article about this whole scenario, and it gets very deep into the ritual and the high-profile ritual that was being performed. But what you'll notice is that she was wearing the flag of Iran on her face. And that's most likely where the next ceremony is going to occur. So the concept of this death goddess is one that I find in all the war memorials across America. There is the goddess laying with the dead soldiers. And she, you'll also find incorporated in there the fasces. Now, fascism should be understood that fascism is a merger of the corporation with the state. Now, we have always been a fascist nation. We're not told that, but we have always been a fascist nation. Washington, D.C. is, of course, a corporate state, a corporation. It's not part of America, and it's a fascist dictatorship. So they don't even hide it when you see them speaking at the House of Representatives. They have the fascists on either side of them. We do live in a fascist state, and these fascists have a religion. And their religion goes back to the fallen angels, the quilopathic powers, and the deep side of the dark. Now, what they want to do is use these high-profile rituals in order to control us and to create a mind pattern within us so that we will act as these people, and that's why we call them icons, or American Idol, right? And it's exactly what they are. Now, the Anna Nicole story got very strange, and I just wanted to show you a little bit of a video clip that I did. I just gathered a bunch of news from that month and what they were showing us and what they were and how they wanted us to feel. And what I found was that they were using trauma-based mind control against us and against these people. Now, the curious thing is, now, Anna Nicole was one of these ritual mind control goddesses. She was given to a 93-year-old oil tycoon named J. Howard Marshall. And of course, he died the next year. But he had $1 billion in Nazi oil, Nazi gold. And this went up into a strange ether, and no one knows who's going to get this $1 billion. But Anna Nicole kept being used through ritual. And she was used in many, many sex rituals. And to the point where Prince Frederick von Anhalt, who was the one who seemed to have gotten her pregnant, stated, well, you know, it's one of those nights where nobody really remembers anything. And she got out of there pregnant. Well, as soon as Anna Nicole well, let's look into Prince Frederick von Anhalt. Now, Prince Frederick von Anhalt owns Zsa Zsa Gabor, keeps her locked up in his mansion with a padlock. Now, Zsa Zsa Gabor was one of the early trauma-based mind control slaves that was a presidential model. And then it came down to Marilyn Monroe, who was then also ritually murdered. And then we come down to Anna Nicole. She's been given $1 billion from a Nazi oil tycoon, and then she gives birth to a child that no one knows who the father is. And, well, Prince Frederick von Anhalt steps up and he says, wait a minute, I'm the father. If you do the math, just check it out. We were doing some ritual back then. Well, I mean, we don't remember what happened, but yeah, I was the guy who got her pregnant. Well, you do a little blood work on Prince Frederick von Anhalt and you get a little confused because you're going to find out that he was actually a Russian experiment through the Nazi Karl Klauberg to resurrect Hitler. Yeah. They actually took they artificially inseminated Gretel Braun with Hitler's semen and produced Prince Frederick von Anhalt. He is the son of Adolf Hitler.
He's a Schickelgruber.
And he was then used to impregnate Anna Nicole. So Anna Nicole's baby is actually a Rothschild through the Hitler bloodline. And then when the baby was born, 3 days later, the son was brought to the hospital and he suddenly drops dead in front of the baby. This is in ritual form, the death of the firstborn. Then, 3 months later, after the baby was born, they killed Anna Nicole right in front of the baby. and this is the death of the goddess. So this is a classic ritual that has been passed down through time, the death of the firstborn and the death of the goddess, to inculcate a particular entity into this baby. And of course the baby was of a very particular bloodline, which was that of Hitler and the Rothschilds. Now you'll find that when Princess Diana died, there was a Rothschild in the Palta Alma to receive her soul. So how much are we willing to believe? How much are we willing to step out of our mechanized, materialistic realms to realize that our leaders are practicing the occult and using entities? And so here is this little baby who is a Rothschild, Hitler, that has now had 2 deaths in its presence, one of the firstborn and one of the goddess. And then they want to use this to traumatize all of us. So here's a little bit of what they want to do to get us into a frenzy. Hopefully this will work.